Hi, and welcome to Tools for Effective Living. You're with Karen Hewett and Alethalou Herman.
Thank
Now, today we're going to be talking about acceptance.
Yes. I've worked with acceptance for a project in a course that I was taking. I had at one time taken a personal development course and created my own personal contract with it, which was I'm at home in love with myself and accepting and grateful. So as I thought more about it, I wondered, what exactly does acceptance mean? And how, because I was searching for a model, something that I could look at and maybe learn how to practice acceptance in another aspect.
Mm-hmm. And how did you find a model that might work for you?
Well, I ended up creating my own.
Mm-hmm.
And I did that by interviewing 3 people. I found that each person had their own motivation that they based their acceptance on. One was compassion and acknowledging the light that everyone has. The other person was taking care of themselves and realizing that acceptance is an inside job. And so he worked on that. And then another person said she felt that it was through optimism and hope that she found acceptance to put her in a resourceful place.
Okay, so you took those 3 people's interviews, and how did you come up with your model?
First, I looked at several different aspects. I looked at if it was an environmental strategy that they had to use. Most of them looked that it applied to all of their life, in how they accepted challenges, how they accepted people, and how they accepted changes that weren't counted on. Also, what was their behavior? How did they react once this happened? And one gal said she took a deep breath and then she would journal about it. Another person said they just would reflect inside, go, well, what does this feel like? Oh, this doesn't feel good. And then analyze it from that point. One person decided that, it is life, and if I'm going to be stopping every time I'm challenged, I don't go very far. So that was her perspective, to know that there was hope. And then the belief in values. And so the belief in values is the compassion, the hope, and the optimism, and how they their spiritual backgrounds led them to be grounded in acceptance. And then what kind of capabilities did they need? And so those were some of the criteria that I looked at across all 3 of them.
Okay, so each person had a different technique for doing that. So within your model, are you going to have like a selection of techniques that people can choose from so that they could have some flexibility as to what kind of person they are and how they might work?
I think that what I will do is have resourceful states that help them to be open to acceptance, optimism, hope, self-care, compassion. Those are all states of being where you are more open to your own resourcefulness. Whereas many times I experienced that when a ball was thrown at me from life that I didn't really want to catch, I would be angry. And anger did not facilitate me being resourceful. So, yes, there will be the resourceful states. There will be tools such as breathing, meditating, understanding also that I'm looking at situations, not just not getting a parking space, something, not what I would perceive as not life-changing, but in life-changing events such as my husband has been diagnosed with Parkinson's. How do I accept that and still be resourceful and not be angry, which is counterproductive? How do people, when they're dealt the death card, when they're told this is the end of the road, we don't have any more treatment for you, how does the person themselves, but more their caregivers, the ones that are left behind, how do they move into acceptance, to allow acceptance without getting stuck in anger?
Okay. So
is this having some continuity for you, Karen?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that the next question I was going to ask was about how are you going to use that, with what people, with what population, and how are you going to reach out and use this model that you've created?
My goal is to be able to put together a packet. Since my husband just got diagnosed with Parkinson's has a group, and to be able to be active within that group and offer some suggestions, maybe have my paper put together in a way that it's instructional, and hopefully to have a video resource for individuals to look at.
Okay. All right. So let me see here.